Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the third day update about my mother and her stroke. The nurse called me this morning. Well, she called me 3 times. Phone was right next to me. I guess I've been just exhausted. And then I was in the most beautiful dream with my mother. And finally I just woke up. She was nice and healthy. She was younger. She was standing up straight, and she comes walking the door, and I said, "They told me you'd never leave the hospital. That you were so sick that you'd never leave the hospital. You were going to heaven." I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "But I gave your cat, your sister." I said, "It'll be a few days before I had to get it back. Get the cat back for you." And she goes, "Okay." And I woke up, and my phone was ringing. The nurse left me a message because I had to go let the dog out, go potty real quick. They don't let me get on the phone. They hate when I talk on the phone. They start humping each other. I got crazy dogs. So the nurse said her and the doctor, they reviewed all the papers, health and everything, you know, keeping her life support and everything. She didn't want it done. So they took her off oxygen, any other things that keep her alive. They started morphine. They started a medicine for anxiety that will help calm her down. She won't be receiving any food, no water, because everything, she really doesn't know anything. Her brain is just gone. This is the worst stroke they said they have seen in many years. They said they have never seen a stroke so bad. And that she's had those blocked arteries in her brain and her neck for many years. But she's had CT scans of her head and her neck. But they're saying this has to be a special CT scan to look for blood clots. So, I don't know. It is what it is. It just makes me furious that they send her home. And I asked this last doctor, Dr. Lay, L-E, did I have a good case, malpractice case? I guess he probably don't want to say yes or no. He goes, "Well, it'd be good to talk to an attorney." So I've got people looking into attorneys, and I've got a few in town I can call, and maybe they can at least refer me if they don't do it or whatever. So they will be moving her out of the CCU sometime this afternoon. Well, it's 4 o'clock now. Sometime later this evening or tonight, they're going to be moving her downstairs to the hospice care. She will be with us for a few days. Well, it could be an hour. You don't know. Something else could go and take her like that. But if they're not feeding her and she's not taking any kind of medications for her blood pressure or anything, you know, to keep her alive, they said it could be a few days, up to a week, maybe 2 weeks, the longest, to be alive. Yeah, we just came from there and talked to the lawyer, spent time with her. She's not moving at all now. It's done so much damage. She was moving her hands and her legs, and now there's nothing. So we visited with her and talked about past things and family members and animals she's fixing to be seeing again. And I didn't realize I had TV in there, and my son said, they got TV in here. I said, well, turn it on. So Murder, She Wrote was the first thing that came on. I was like, oh, she loved Murder, She Wrote. So we left Murder, She Wrote on because she hated to sleep in the dark or hated to sleep without TV on. So we left it on for her. Maybe she can hear it. So thank you for, I've posted this on Facebook and stuff, and people have started coming to see her. So if you're a friend, my mother's a nice student, you need to go up to St. Joseph Hospital. Just give her a name, her name, and they'll tell you where she's at. I asked them, could she see baby Grayson? Did he just turn 1 yesterday? And they're like, usually no in CCUs, but for this case, they would make an exception. But since he wasn't there, and they're gonna move her to another part of the hospital, they said, you know, he'd be able to go. They just hate to have kids in the CCU because they have lots of germs. Seems like everybody's got this. I may be allergies. I don't know what it is. But I need to take my allergy medicine. It just makes me so sleepy. So we came home early, visited with her. I was like, there's nothing else I can do. They're going to call me later once they move her. And I got one doggy here. He's decided to see me. He wouldn't go outside, so he's asleep. I'm fixing to get the other ones in. They come right in here and they go to sleep. And I've got some laundry to do and stuff to do, and so but I'll post it here because me and my mother, we planned our funerals out 2020 when coronavirus hit. We didn't know what was going to happen, so we've got it all planned out. So I'm going to let y'all know here. Don't know when the date will be. I'll do that later, another video. That her will be having first funeral here in Brian Hillier Funeral Home on 29th Street. And then she wanted to have it at the Methodist Church in Calvert. I may have to change that. I don't want it to come back and haunt me, but it's a 2-story church, and you have to go up these steep stairs to get up there. Most everybody's older now, and I've got bad knees and stuff, and we don't have pallbearers. We don't know anybody. Everybody's got no she knows. And my mother's sister's like, well, they'll have to get somebody from the funeral home, but it's like, if it's a nice day, I think we'll just have a longer graveside service at the cemetery. I know she won't have it, but it's like, my aunt, I said, do you know the preacher at the church? She's like, no. My mother, you know, it's a family church, but we don't go to the church anymore because we don't live in Calvert anymore. And so we don't know who the preacher is, and it's like everybody, all of her friends are still living on them. They're all in their 70s, 80s, and 90s years old, and it's just, I don't see anybody coming if it's at the church. I know she'd love to have it there. I don't think it's gonna be possible, so we'll see about that. So it was supposed to be at the church. We may just move it if it's a nice pretty day, just have a nice longer service at the cemetery. You know, maybe we can do the music on a CD or something. So, we used no organist. My grandma used to be the organist of the Methodist Church in Calvert and taught piano students and played piano, and she'd go play for other funerals and stuff. But we don't know anybody who does that anymore. And so, I think we'll just probably just move it to, if it's a nice day. I don't know. We'll see. But she will have a funeral service here in Bryan, and then we're going to have one in Calvert. So, they told me at the doctor at the hospital, the two nurses and doctor, they said, she goes, we walked out of the room, she goes, we just are so impressed and love your family. She goes, y'all are the only family that's had this all done. You don't have to worry about anything. She goes, people nowadays, they don't have anything, don't know anything about their parents or relatives' wishes, you know, and they don't have any paperwork. Then you got to go to court and all this stuff and fight stuff, but we had all of our papers done. And, you know, I don't have to worry about anything, and my kids don't have to worry about it. And it's good. Talk to your family members. Get you a lawyer. Do your will. Do your medical power of attorney and all that stuff, health stuff. So your family members don't have to worry about it. It's just so much easier. And just plan your funeral out. If you can't pay it outright, they have payment plans. Go pick out your funeral. You can pay monthly. Because funerals, they're not cheap. Even getting cremated ain't cheap. So, I advise everyone, go get your will. Get all that settled with your health and your medical and power of attorneys and all that, and plan your funeral. Get it locked in. Things are going up all the time. I don't know, if we paid for this like 1950, well, her prices would be stuck in 1950. We wouldn't have to be paying 2023 prices. So that's why I went on, we did this in 2020, and it's like our prices are locked in, because I don't know how much funerals cost nowadays. So, just giving y'all some advice. I've told my boys, I'm probably just going to go on and one day and just plan their funeral out. Since they don't want to do anything, they think. My son goes, well, I'm 33 years old. It's like, you know what? You can die anytime. Doesn't matter if you're a newborn or you're 99 years old. You can die anytime. It doesn't matter. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. We don't know when it's time to go. So, I will let y'all go. Oh, update on my mother's kitty. I asked my mother's sister and my aunt how the cat did. She said she did great. All three of them, well, she had two cats and I gave her one. She brought her two cats with her. She said they didn't make a sound all the way, 4 hours away she does. So she said they didn't make a sound. Meow, nothing. Hissing, nothing. And then she got home. Betsy finally got out of her cage during the night, went and got behind the toilet, and she stayed there for a while, and then she's up under my aunt's bed, and she hisses at her. I was like, well, she must like you, and she'll eventually come out to eat. It's just a new place, and she'll take care of her. She loves cats. She's one of those cat ladies. I tell you, I broke down last night. I walked in my mama's room, and just talking to my mama. She's not there. And I'll never hear her voice again. And I'll never see these messages in the morning. She writes and I need this, and I need that. I always tell her, stop making me these notes. Tell me. I'm gonna miss those notes. I need Sprites or, I want this for dinner or whatever. And I'm never gonna have that again from my mama. It's just hard with Ashton leaving. And now my mama's gone for good. At least I can see Ashton every once in a while. And my mama's gone forever. It's just so hard to see her stuff. And she's working on her ancestry, and Thursday she was asking me questions about this and who and that, and some of her stuff has doubled in her ancestry, and she's asked me how to get this stuff off and stuff, and I was like, well, when we go home, we'll work on it, and we never worked on it. So... Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go. I need to go cry some more. And I've got some of her friends I need to call. So, I'll let y'all know an update probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.